Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope you're well. I'm going to quickly take you through my website because a lot of people ask me, what does my website do? How to startupinmedtech.com. So I'm going to go through it very quickly. So basically what the website has, it has two sections. It has education sections, which is the online course, which is the podcast and blog. And then it really has... basically, you can book some of my time if you need me, and all course members get some of my time as well. So let me very briefly talk you through what the main courses are. And the idea of this website is really to help people who are starting up in medtech, and it doesn't mean just starting companies. It's also about people who are trying to start up in medtech for the first time. So let's go to the online course. And basically what you've got here, you can look on this document here, which is the PDF, which will tell you the entire content of the course. You can try 5 of the lessons for free, the first 5. Then you've got the main course, which is how to build a startup in medtech. And that's the full course. That's everything A to Z, which I'll go through in a second. And then what you can do if you want to break that into chunks is get the part 1 only, which is the first 40, second 35, and then the final course is the part 3. So you can break it into 3 chunks if you want. It will cost you more to do that. Let me talk you through the main course first, just so you understand what's in there. So basically, when you get into this course, you'll find this interface, and on the interface, you'll get these different sections, and it's all broken into sections. So this is Let's Get Going. You have Exciting and Early Days, and it takes you all the way through to Series A and then to Series B, where it gets commercial, Series C, Series D, and the exit. And each of those sections has within it a fairly large number of videos. So let me just pick one at random here. Focus, focus, focus. And what you'll find in each of those sections is you'll find a video, and the reason I've built the videos this way with no on-screen help is because I want you to be able to also to listen to these in the car while you're driving like a podcast. So each of these videos will have in there, I'll just run you through, it has basically me talking away and talking about each of these sections, like focus, 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 and it will take you all the way through that section, and each one is between 5 and 8 minutes, so it's about 10 hours of video in total in the course. Goes in really deep depth, and it's really about how to start up in medtech, how to take you from A to Z, from the beginning of having an idea, the right ideas, and all the way through to making sure that you have the right setup of the company for helping you to get an exit. It's really about trying to make less mistakes. Then each module has with it a very simple 1-page sheet. And this one is just a very simple one that helps you to remind you to focus. You print this one out, and I'll show you some of the other ones that are on there. So if you go, for example, if you're going to go into expanding your commercial team the right way, this will give you a sheet in there about sales team, how to build them. And there are some sheets that are super detailed, really about raising money, how to raise money, different valuations, different ways that you can build out your plans for raising money. And it just gives you all these kind of help sheets all the way through with the accompanying video. So that's the main bulk of the site, is that course. So if you are an investor, if you're a founder, if you're struggling with your startup in medtech, if you're just curious how it works, then this course will take you through absolutely everything. If you're someone in a company that's thinking of coming out and doing your own startup or going into the startup world, even not as a CEO, but just as somebody who's going to help to run, this course should help you to understand how it works. Then what else do you have in there in the site? So if you come over here, there's a podcast, and this is really a podcast that's at the minute got a lot of focus on some of the surgical robotics systems. So it's got a Census, it's got Moon Surgical, Medicoroid, it's got Medtronic, but it's also going to have more and more podcasts in there, and with a lot of guests coming on some of the key things that you need when you get into medical devices. So, how to sell a surgical robot is a basic one. There's going to be commercialization, organizing territories. There's a whole host of things coming that will be just very, very useful on the podcast. And then there's the next main education section, which is in, again, 2 different parts. So basically, you've got a whole load of information that comes in these articles, and the articles can be super, super deep. There are 2 sections. There's a free content section, and there's a lot of good education materials in there. Basically, how about helping you, again, run a startup, how things work in medtech. Some things on robotics are in there as well. And then there's an exclusive content, which are super deep dives, and they are into deep dive subjects. Predominantly at the beginning, it's about medical robotics, but it's going to get deeper and deeper on different medtech sectors. So if you're a professional in medtech that really wants to go deep into some of these things, let me show you some of this. For example, I'll take you into one of the exclusive blogs here, one of the more popular ones, with about 1,000 people been into this one. You buy a subscription, which I'll show you how in a minute, and you can get access to this. And these blogs basically take you, this one is about Intuitive leading the shift to surgical robotics, and it takes you through in great detail in these reports exactly how that's happening, why that's happening, what it means for the market, how they're going to do it. So these reports go, pretty deep, and should be a good source if you're an analyst, if you're a researcher, if you're anybody interested in surgical robotics, then this is for you. And the way that you get into that is you just go to the blog subscriptions, which is here. And what it does is it gives you access. So this is a special deep dive on DaVinci 5, which I was asked to do by a group of analysts. And that is a 99. That's for a one-off report that's hyper specialist, and it's not for everybody. But if you buy that, you get access to also all the free content, all the exclusive content, and everything on basically the blog. So if you buy that one report, not only do you get the report in there, which is super specialist report, but what you also get in there is you get the 1999 exclusive content blog post. So that's a way to get into the blog post as well. But if you don't want that super deep report, you can just buy access, which is a 12-month pass to everything on the blog post. And there is a ton of information coming that'll be really exciting, visualization systems, a lot of really good stuff. And there's going to be some super deep dives in there as well, which will be more general to medtech. But most of the startup stuff is on the free. Behind the paywall is a lot of the super specialty stuff that people really, it's really for super specialists that are in there. The final thing that you'll find in the blog, in the site here, is that you'll be able to find here to book my time. So you can book sessions with me, a 30-minute session, a 1-hour session, a full day session, or if you want me to come to you, and it takes a lot to winkle me out of my house nowadays. If you see my post about travel, then you can get me for a day, but that's rare, and I don't accept all of those. But you can book my time on here, and the way that you book my time is that you just go into the book now. You'll pick something on the calendar. So let's try on the 14th, and let's try 12:30. You click on the calendar, and you'll put your details in here, and there'll be a payment in there, for example, when you hit the book now. And you can skip that with a code. If you've got a code to put in, you're able to skip that with a code. If I've given you a code for one of the 30-minute meetings. And really, that's it. So, if there's any more information that you need, reach out to me. But again, who is this really for? This is really for people who are starting up in the medtech industry, and it'll help you if you're building a startup company, if you're running a startup company, if you're struggling with a startup company. This should give you a lot of answers as to why you might be struggling. And again, it's really probably the most in-depth course that you might find. It's not your Harvard kind of stuff. This is hard knocks. This is 32 years of doing this, and it's all the mistakes that I've made over the time. So, yeah, give me some questions and shout out if you need some more info. Cheers.